actually need. Tell me, do you have anything of real value? Like what? Houses, investments, bonds, stocks. Start ignoring what you've been taught. It's time to stop blaming everybody else cause you broke. Generational wealth can be just as prevalent in your life as them generational curses you've been dragging along. Like my Aunt Ruby book says, get a hold of your darn finances.
Sitting at your job, looking at your check, wondering just how you gon' pay the rent, wondering just how you gon' pay utilities after ditching all your responsibilities. Now you're living off your credit cards, trying to survive, lying to yourself, saying you gon' be just fine. Shaking it, faking it, pretending like you're making it, but you're still broke. Now you asking yourself what you gon' do, who you wanna be, what you tryna see, what's your destiny, what you gon' do, who you wanna be, what's your destiny. Get a hold of your darn finances.
Spending money like it's growing on trees, but behind closed doors you on bending knees. Why you walking around like you ballin'? Don't you hear your destiny is calling? Where your houses, investing, stocks and bonds, spending all your money at Amazon. When you die, what you gonna leave for your babies? A bunch of woulda, coulda, shouldas and maybes. I'm sick and tired of y'all blaming on the man when all you gotta do is get a hold of your darn finance.
Get a hold of your finances. Stack it up and watch your money grow. Get a hold of your finances. Don't you wanna be in full control? Get a hold of your finances. Stack it up and watch your money grow. Get a hold of your finances. Don't you wanna be in full control?
Do you want your house, a car, plenty money in the bank? Want to send your kids to college? If you're serious about getting a hold of your darn finances, call Ruby Groves Clay at Clay Realty Group at 533-2529. Or better yet, go to the website and sign up for the class and buy the book at www.getaholdofyourdarnfinances.com. Get this hair together, I guess, y'all. We are live and we are on here talking about getting a hold of your darn finances. Today I am, as always, on here with my trusty sidekick, Anthony Barnes. Why don't you go ahead and say hi to the people, Anthony?
Hey, hello everybody.
Okay, and today, as always, we are talking about finances, y'all, because everything is going on right now. People are getting laid off on their jobs. Everything is out the wazoo for as groceries, gas, and everything. And I want to know, and I want to be able to help a million people, more than a million people, get a hold of their finances. I am a real estate broker by trade. However, just because I'm a real estate agent and just because your profession is your profession, that doesn't mean that you don't have other gifts. You don't have other talents, because God has given us some other gifts and our jobs and our skills and our talents. All of that's going to come full circle when we are working in our purpose and working towards our destiny. So today's subject here, as always, we're going to be talking about money. We're going to be talking about credit or lack of, especially in our communities, and how these items are affecting all communities. However, it affects our African American community even more so. And as the theme of this year is, we're waging war. We're waging war on finances, family, hurt, pain. We want to take it all back, y'all. I love CeCe Winans' song "Waging War," and when I've always listened to it, and so that is my theme for the year. However, we want to find out what's keeping you from your God-given purpose. Like I said, those jobs and those talents and gifts and all of that, hopefully you know and have taken a spiritual gifts test, because God has given you some gifts that he has not given to anyone else, and he wants you to use those things to help your community, make this world a better place. So today's subject is: are you chasing money, or is money working for you? So I definitely want to hear from the people out there. I want to know, are you chasing money? I know in my book, back here on the shelf, on the other side, y'all, I talk about money's gifts, or what's your relationship with money? Why has money left you? Because if you broke, you live in check to check, then 9 times out of 10, money has left you, and we want to know why she has left you. Is money your master? Are you mastering your money? Are you idolizing her? Are you abusing her, ignoring her, chasing her, taking her for granted? And for those of you who don't know, money is a woman. Because if you dog her out, you abuse her, you treat her badly, what is she going to do? She is going to leave you. So in my book, Get a Hold of Your Darn Finances, I was blessed with the assignment from God to tell a story about money. You know, everybody, I got so tired of a lot of the programs out here. They always want to give out grant money. They always want to, just like Tashara Jones, isn't she giving out $500 a month?
Just giving people class money.
For how long? 18 months? For 18 months. Is that right, Anthony?
I think that's what you told me before.
Okay. She's giving out like $500 a month for 18 months. And this will only cover like 400 people or 400 families. But my question is, if you are constantly giving a person money and not teaching them how money works, is that not defeating the purpose? Because they're going to be back in that same position after those 18 months. In the Bible, God says, instead of giving you a fish, I'm going to teach you how to fish. So we need to teach people how money works. And I guarantee you, by buying the book, the course, the class, taking a 30-day challenge for me. And at the end of this, I am going to be challenging each and every one of you to sign up for my course, a 30-day challenge. We're going to go through this book. I have questions, we got quizzes, we got guests coming in, and we're talking about money, and we are going to break money down. And for some of you who have purchased the book already, I thank you for patronizing this ministry, because this is a financial ministry. And the reason why, again, that I was blessed to put this together was I was working on a new construction project on the city's north side, College Hill. Shout out to Fred Kimbrough. He's the director of the College Hill Foundation over there, and they're doing a great job. But we were, Clay Realty was hired to sell 20 new homes over there. And these homes were 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, ranch style homes. And they were tax abated. We got those house payments down to $600 per month. And do you know that 90% of the people that came through that project could not qualify for a $600 house payment? And so this angered me. So I was like, God, you got to show me my purpose, because I know you didn't put me on this earth just to help people buy and sell their homes. So I went on my own quest to find my own purpose, y'all. Because, you know, all of these years I was working and making all this money and all of that, but there was still an emptiness. There was still something that was pulling me to do more. And I'm pretty sure that that's happening to you all too. Something that God wants you to do. Yeah, your profession and all of that, the money is fine and all of that, but I guarantee you, we got a whole lot of millionaires that's jumping off of bridges. So money ain't everything, but I guarantee if you find your purpose and your destiny, you'll be more fulfilled. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I think that's right too, because a lot of times, like the old saying, money isn't everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have more than money. You gotta have purpose. Gotta have a clear conscience for one thing.
Yeah.
That's a major thing. So, like, no matter, don't just do anything for money. Get money the right way. Keep money the right way.
Exactly. And so a couple of the chapters in the book, again, y'all, everything happens on a bus ride. And if anybody knows me out there, you know that I love a good story, a good movie. When I'm not selling homes and I'm not doing anything, I am curled up on the left side of the bed with a cup of coffee, something to eat, and with the remote control. So that's my passion, movies. And so I wanted this book to transcend through all generations. I wanted the youths to be able to understand about money, millennials and the mature, because I want to know out there, how many of your parents taught you about money? I mean, they had you open up a bank account. They taught you about saving. They taught you about definitely tithing and offerings, giving back to your community. So I want to hear in the comments, and you all can type your comments, and I want to know how many of you were taught about money and how she works from your parents, because we weren't really taught about money. My mom was like, okay, you need to have good credit. You need to have you a job, and you need to be able to take care of yourself. And she had CDs, certificates of deposits, and all of that. But how many of you were actually sat down at the kitchen table? They went over their bills. They said, look, y'all, we can't be buying Michael Jordans. We can't. Back then it was Jordache, and what else was back there?
Well, there was always Nike.
Nike and all of that stuff. So I want to hear from y'all. What were you taught about money? I really want to hear that. So put your comments in down in the box. I would really love to hear that. Again, another the chapter. So what I did was, okay, back to the story. Okay, what I did was, I wanted to make it fun. I was like, okay, how can I tell a story where everyone is going to understand? I mean, if you're a teenager, if you are a millennial, the mature, because if we weren't taught how money works, how can we become millionaires, y'all? How can we be able to compete with the other races as far as housing, as far as investments, as far as estate planning? Because I don't know if you all know this, but usually, as the statistics show, sorry about that, our people are usually at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to housing, investments, estate planning, and all of that. And I want to change that. That should not be happening with as much money that goes through the African American community, as well as the Latin American community also. I'm not Latina, as you can see, but I do speak Spanish. I have a son, my son Ronaldo. He's half Panamanian. So I especially want these races to succeed and be able to compete with the other ethnic groups. So definitely, I want y'all to call in or or type your message in. I want to know what's going on. But anyway, on the bus ride, this book, everything happens on a bus ride. It's a bus ride, and you have Ruby, me. You know, Tyler Perry did it. I'm doing it too. So I'm putting myself in my stuff too. So when it kick off, I'm gonna give me a check. So so it all happens on a bus ride where Ruby is going to see her Aunt Lucille in Mississippi. And she's all giddy and she's happy because she's paid off her car and her house. And the little lady, Miss Emma, you'll love her. You're going to love all of these characters in this book. And I guarantee you are going to be able to see yourselves one way or another in this book. And so Mrs. Emma, she's she's excited, and Miss Emma's like, "Why are you so happy?" And she was like, "I just paid off my house, just paid off my car, and all of that." And that's where everything starts to evolve. You know, we have Miss Latina, we have the little girl in the yellow dress, we have the young man in the hoodie, we have a man with a goatee. I mean, there are some fascinating characters on this bus ride, and I can't wait for you to meet them. But some of the chapters in this book are Hello Money, because you got to know money. You got to form a relationship with her. The problem is one of the longest chapters in this book, because we have to be able to face our problems. If you are going to buy that house, if you're going to get that car, if you're going to want to get out of debt, if you want to clean that credit up, you're going to have to face whatever problems that have been going on in your life. You got to face them. They're not going anywhere. You can't put them up under the rug and just say, "Hey, I'll see you later." No, they're going to keep rearing their ugly heads as soon as you want to buy something. You're going to come to one of my open houses and you're going to like that house, and then I'm going to ask you, "How's your credit?" And you're going to be like, that's the first thing we hear when we ask, "How's your credit?" Because that's what the loan officer is going to want to know. Regardless if you've been on your job forever, you making the money, it doesn't matter if your credit is toe down. It don't matter. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that is the very first question they're going to ask. And if you haven't done something like got the Chime app, and got some app or whatever, it's a Chime app, and you can use that to monitor your bill of your credit. And I haven't tried it out myself, but you know, just use whatever you can to get your credit rating up, because it matters.
Exactly, credit matters, and y'all, that stops so many people in our African American community from purchasing a home. You know, again, when we were little, you know, when we were younger, what did your parents say about credit? Did they teach you about the credit report? Did they sit down with you, and did they give you your own credit card and say, "Hey, this is what you need to do, and this is how this works"? Because many of us did not get those lessons. And then when we just kind of went by the seat of our pants, and then when we got out there, we started making so many mistakes. We started charging, but we didn't have any idea. Well, when that bill came, you were shocked as heck, because that $12 a month, that $24 a month, or whatever the case, the more you charged, the more that monthly payment was, and we just weren't taught about how to deal with that. Okay, so that's a big thing, and we gotta teach. We have to clean it up ourselves, y'all. If you are having credit problems out there, you need to be in my course. I also have created a credit boosting kit, and I'm going to show you how to clean up your own credit, because it's not a big deal. You shouldn't be paying anybody $500, $600, $700, $800 to clean up your credit when you can do it yourself. And I show you how to do that for $27. I've already recorded the videos and all of that, and we are going to help. My goal is to help 5,000 people this month, or well, next month, or 5,000 people a month to clean their credit up, to get a hold of their finances, to understand how money works. And again, in the book, the next chapter 4, is vision, because if you, Habakkuk 2 says, Habakkuk 2:2 says, without a vision, the people will perish. If you don't have a vision for your life, what are you going to be running towards? When you get depressed, when you get, in your feelings, then you need to have some kind of goal, some kind of something that you're going to be running towards. What do you think, Anthony?
Right. I mean, when you get down in the dumps, you definitely got to have hope.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot have hope if you don't have any plans or you don't have any goals or anything like that. That can really keep you going.
Gotcha. So, you got to get a vision for your life. And I have a vision board. So the one thing that keeps me going is my vision board. And I usually keep it right in my office above my copying machine, somewhere where you are going to be looking at it every day. Every time you pass it, if you got to put it in the bathroom or whatever the case may be, nowadays you can take a picture of it and put it as a wallpaper on your phone, but you have to keep those goals and visions in your face. So the next chapter is purpose. We're going to go over your purpose. We're going to try to help you find your purpose, because I tell you what, if you're working on that job and you've been on that job for years, and if you've asked yourself, why am I here? I ain't feeling this job. If you're feeling some kind of way, regardless of the money and all of that, and you feel that I'm meant to do something more. It's something more that I'm supposed to be doing. And 9 times out of 10, it is. Okay, so you gotta find your purpose. And one thing you have to do is you have to go to the source. You gotta go to our Heavenly Father and find out why He created you. Because whatever you are meant to do, whatever He wants you to do, He's put it inside of you. So it's like that game, hide, go, seek. He hid it inside of you, and you have to seek Him to find out what it is. Okay. The other chapter 6, is the money game. Where's the money and budget? If you do not know where every dime of your money is going, then we got a problem. We have a problem. You should know where every dime of your money is going. A lot of people use different methods of budgets, but you should have one. Some people, they use, what do they use? Like the Dave Ramsey app. I know a lot of people who use it, who's keeping their budget written down in a tablet and all of that. I usually use a spreadsheet, and so that when I'm changing something, see, I want my stuff to automatically change. I don't want to have to be getting the calculator out and trying to figure it out and find a penny and all of that. No, you got it. With the times being now, everything is tech. You should have an app of something electronic on your phone, on your computer, or whatever, and you should be tracking your money. And also, very important, you should have a checking account, a savings account, and an investment account. You got to have all three, okay? Because you want to know, you know what I'm saying, while you're living, you're paying the bills, you're doing all of this, you have to keep putting money in your savings account, putting up for a rainy day with your emergency fund, and then you need to put money to work for you. Because when we start, look, if y'all anywhere like in your 50s or whatever, that body has start to slow down. You know, all of that stuff that we used to do, all of that running that we used to do, we can't do all that stuff anymore because we're getting tired. And I don't know about y'all, but on some occasions, I'm in the bed about, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So what about you, Anthony? What time you be in bed?
It's kind of random with me.
It's kind of random with you. Okay, y'all. He's a night hawk. He used to be up at night, y'all, and doing all kind of stuff. Anything probably online somewhere, talking somewhere about politics or something, right?
Or something.
Yeah, so he's up all night. So whatever he does. But you know, we have to know where that money is going if we are going to pump out more black millionaires. We need more black millionaires. They're just not enough compared to all the other races, y'all. There's not enough black millionaires out there. Chapter 7 talks about tithes and offerings. Okay, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but we cannot do anything without our Heavenly Father. We got to give it back to Him. He only asks for 10. And that's on the gross, not the net, y'all. That's on the gross. What you think, Anthony?
Yeah, definitely the gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is on the gross, not the net, y'all. So if you're not giving back to your Heavenly Father, then if your hands are so closed, you're not giving Him His, you're not doing anything, then okay, how is He supposed to bless you? Okay, how is He supposed to bless you if you're not being obedient? And giving your tithes and offerings is not for Him because God owns everything. He really don't need your little 10%. Actually, it's for you. It's to teach you about money management. It's to teach you about responsibility and obedience. He just wants to see, are you going to do what He says? Trust Him. And He states that, try me, test me, and I will pour out the blessings, so many blessings upon you that you would not have room enough to receive them. Okay, you would not have room enough to receive them. So, you know, if you haven't given yourself to Christ, then definitely consider doing so, because the Bible is our manual, just like that iPhone y'all got and these computers and all of that. When you need to know something about those items, you go to that manual, right? So the Bible is our manual because everything you want to do or don't want to do is in that Bible. And to make it so bad, it's a book of warnings, it's a book of corrections, it's a book of blessings. I think it's a love story between our Heavenly Father and His love for us. And He's gonna tell you, He's gonna chastise you, but He's gonna love you every step of the way. So gotta form that relationship with Him, because ain't nothing else to say about that one. Pretty much. What you think, AB?
Just people that in case people were curious. That's Malachi 3:10 about God will pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it if you do right. You pay your tithes and offerings.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not pay your tithes and offerings. It's give your tithes and offerings. He wants you to give your tithes and offerings with that willing and gracious and open heart. So I don't look at it as a burden. I look at it as just thank you, giving homage to the one who has given us so much. Okay, purchase traps. We're gonna talk about purchase traps, y'all, because there are so many traps out there that keeps us bound, and if you're not careful, you're going to be putting yourself further and further in debt, all because you have not tamed your appetite. It's two sisters in there, y'all. It's called Appetite. Their names are Appetite and Temptation, and so you have to tame your appetite and your and monitor those temptations, and because those purchase traps are there, and like going to the mall, going on unexpected trips with your girlfriends, going sightseeing and all of that, going shopping online, or just being online and you're surfing the net. You can get caught up in some stuff, and you're putting it on that charge card. You're just charging away, and before you know it, you have gotten yourself into a load of trouble in regards to your debt. And then you're wondering, you're working, and on Friday you be like, well, I paid all my bills. I don't have no money left. What's going on? I should be further than I should be. And I guarantee you, if we break that money down, we'll be able to find where every dime of that money is going. Credit game. Chapter 9, we're talking about the credit game. I'm going to show you how credit is nothing but a game. Credit is nothing but a game, y'all. And if we learn to play this man-made system, because this is a man-made system. This is a man-made system, okay? But if you don't play the game correctly, it can devastate your finances for the years to come. It really can. And when you get ready to come to when you come to one of my open houses and you ask me, Ruby, how much this house cost? Oh, I like this. My kids would love this. Donnie got his room. My husband got the finished basement, got the 3-car garage. And I turn around and ask you, how's your credit? And you say, what had happened was, that phase kind of kills me. You always know some stuff is in the mix when you hear that phrase. What had happened was, okay, but what had happened was, we need to clean it up. Okay, we clean this up, because I don't like anybody to tell me no. I don't know about you, but that's one of my pet peeves. When I want something, I want to go get it. And when I walk up in somewhere, I'm going to tell them, this is where I want my interest rate. This is how much I'm putting down on it. If anything, I had got a van not too long ago last year, and I walked into Bomarito out there in South County. And because I had good credit, I called the shots. When you have good credit, you have power. You have options, okay? But when you don't have good credit, in the 5s and low 600s, you are at the beck and call of that creditor. Right. And they are going to stick it to you.
Right. If they don't say no, they're going to stick it to you.
They're going to stick it to you. They're probably going to give you like a 19-20% interest rate, right, and all of that. I'm like, what? No, because you know what? When you're paying those high interest rates like that, just think about it. If that house payment, if that car payment, if you had good credit, that is, your car payment could have been $400 a month, opposed to $800 a month or $900 or $1,000 a month. Just think, that extra money that you're putting on that car because of your bad credit could have been used for
groceries.
No groceries. You're thinking about food. He's thinking about food. Okay. How about that extra money could have been put in your savings account. Put some of it in an emergency fund. How about put some of it in a college fund for your kids, or if you wanted to go back to college. But to give that extra money to a dealership or some kind of creditor, all because you won't get a hold of your finances. You won't face that problem. You won't clean that credit up. But it's going to affect you in the long run. And don't think it's just going to be the the dealership that's gonna get you. You know, everybody's gonna want a piece of you. The insurance company, they're gonna charge you a higher interest rate because you got jacked up credit. Who else?
Okay, you got your insurance.
If you buy a house and you go to a predatory lender, like not the regular lender, but you know, one of these other persons that have a lot of money, and they're gonna charge you. Yeah, they're gonna charge you 13-14%, and then interest rate. But the interest rate currently is what, 4 or 5%. Look at all of that extra money that you're giving them, that you're fattening their pockets with. You are sending their kids to private school because you're giving them your wealth. So if you ever want to know why you don't have money in the bank, why you're living check to check, you're going to have to check actually how's your credit, what are you doing with that money, and I guarantee you, especially that bank statement. I remember one of my clients, I sat down with her. She was like, I don't know where my money is going. I should be further along in my career, you know, than where I am. And this person worked for the government, making $80,000, $90,000 a year. However, they didn't know. They weren't doing a budget. They didn't know where that money was going. But you know what? When I sat down with them, I found out where that money was going. I went straight to that bank statement. Because 9 times out of 10, they're swiping. Debit, debit, debit. And you know what? Everything that she did was right there on that bank statement. And you know where most of that money was going? Where do you think it was going, Anthony?
A lot of people get subscription services.
Nope, that's too little. Now think about, give me a worst case scenario.
Shopping, from shopping, getting clothes and stuff?
That too, but give me something else.
Restaurants.
Give me something else.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. What was she doing? I hope she wasn't gambling.
Oh.
I hope she wasn't.
That's exactly where she was going. She was going to the boat.
No.
The boat. And I mean, y'all, these were like some hefty look withdrawals. I mean, I'm seeing Ameristar. And I turned it and I totaled it for the month. And this person was spending almost. How much are you thinking? How much do you think that person was spending?
I hope it was no more than $1,000. I hope it wasn't more than that.
Guess again.
$2,000?
Guess again.
Oh my God, $3,000 a month?
This person was spending almost $3,000 a month.
Oh my God.
Going to the boat. Okay, y'all.
Oh,
so
no.
this is a reality. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is just not, just not hearsay. Why do you think all the gambling Anonymous and all of these other places are out here? All of these, those are some traps. Those are traps too. Gambling. What are some other bars? Also, I heard that Anheuser-Busch is not selling as much beer as they were selling because of the because of this little because of the recession. Because we are in a recession. I don't care what nobody say.
Some people are still nervous about COVID too.
Yeah. So my thing, COVID, beer and COVID don't have anything to do because you can take the beer home and chill out.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of going to the bars. A lot of people, they go to bars to drink and they might not be doing it.
But with Anheuser-Busch, their numbers have decreased. They're not selling as much liquor because inflation. Hey y'all, I went to Sam's and I usually get these sausage patties, right? I know this off the grid, but it's like 42 sausage patties in this box, right?
Okay.
Before the pandemic and all of this, those sausage patties was $8. Now those sausage patties are $14.95. I was like, oh my God. I was mad as a wet
Was they
chicken.
Smaller too?
Huh?
Were they smaller too?
No, they weren't smaller. They were the same size. They just increased the sales price. They just jacked up the price, y'all. And I'm like, I didn't want to pay the $14, and I actually walked out of Sam's. But wait a minute. The next 2 days, I went to Hardee's, because I love Hardee's restaurant. My girlfriend is a manager over at the one on Hampton, so a shout out to Robin Morris. She's over there managing that Hardee's over there on Hampton and 44. So anyway, for 2 days I was going to Hardee's, and I was spending what, $8. So that was actually the $16 that I would have been spending for the freaking sausage patty. So you know what I did? I went and bought the freaking sausage patties. So that's what I went to and did, because eating out, y'all, I'm eating out less and less and less every day, because it's just too expensive. It's just too expensive. So I don't.
I would say about once a month is enough.
Once a month is enough to eat out.
Because a lot of times, they put a lot of salt in the food, and it's like not necessarily good for you either.
Well, look at all them muscles over there, how buff you are. You don't look like you missing no meals.
No, I'm not missing. I'm not missing too many meals.
Look at him. He's all buff. He ain't missing no meals, is he, y'all? So, okay, the next chapter in the book is investing, because we're going to break down investing. Okay, because after you have cleaned up your credit, faced your problems, cleaned up your credit, done your budgets, and you have money in your savings account, your emergency fund is all stacked up, and now it's time to invest. You cannot let that money just sit in a regular account. No, it's called compound interest. You want to make money work for you. That's what she does. She works her best. That's her gift. And if you allow her, she will double, triple, or even quadruple your money if you invest it wisely. And chapter 11 is estate planning. Okay, y'all. This is something that every real estate agent has experienced in our careers. Okay. What happens is, when you have the house, you got the car, you got all the diamond rings and all of that. Okay, I'm sure everybody knows out there that it's inevitable. You are going to live and you are going to die. I have never seen any hearse rolling behind, any armored cars rolling behind hearse. Okay, the hearse, because you on your way to the cemetery, and even if you do have a hearse going behind you at the cemetery, believe you me, when that sun goes down, those people who put you in that grave, they're gonna dig up whatever you try to take with you. Okay, you can't take it with you, but you have to make plans for your possessions. Okay, who's going to get the house? Who's going to get the car? What's going to happen to that 401k? What's going to happen to those other investments that you have? And if you have married and your new husband or your new wife have children, and you've just blended that family, okay, so now you have to look out for your kids and their kids and your spouse and your husband and your wife, or whatever the case may be. There are going to be a lot of decisions that you are going to have to make, okay? And most importantly, they need to be in writing, okay? Don't do like Aretha Franklin and put it on. Did she have hers on a? Did she do her will on a napkin or something? Did she do it? It was some far out. Or like my boy Prince, he fought all those years for the rights to his masters, and he died without a will. Okay? That is not the thing to do. Okay, first of all,
what Aretha Franklin said, they thought she didn't have a will at first, but then they found three handwritten wills that had been found in her Detroit area homes. They found 3 handwritten.
Okay, so were they notarized?
Handwritten. So they say they were filed in probate court in Oakland County, Michigan.
Oh, okay, y'all, but y'all know Prince didn't have a will, and he was fighting all those years for his masters and all of that, and he didn't even bother to have a will prepared. But okay, this is what happens to us real estate agents. Okay, bring, somebody calls us and say, hi, I would like to sell my mother has passed away, and my brother and I, we want to sell the house. And we say, oh, that's sorry to hear that. And first thing we ask them is your name on the property? And 9 times out of 10, a person says no. I was like, is your brother's name on the property? No, it's not. Did your mother have a will? No, she didn't. She just didn't want to talk about that. We tried to get her to do this, or we tried to get her to do that. And you know what that says? That's a probate situation. Right. There's nothing that us real estate agents can do, because that is now something that has to be handled by the courts. So while you're going through this grieving period of your life over your loved ones, now you have to be burdened with hiring an attorney. You're going to have to spend, it depends on the size of the estate as to how much you are going to have to pay an attorney. Right. And it's probably going to start with a minimum of $3,000 to $4,000. Okay. Like I said, it depends on the complexity and the size of the estate. Right. But until that is squared away and an executor is assigned over that estate, you cannot do anything. Only thing you can do is try to keep the mortgage up so it won't be foreclosed on. And if you have your own household to manage, and hopefully mom and dad's house was paid off and there was no mortgage, nobody refinanced it, then I've seen situations where they could not maintain their household and take over mom's mortgage too. And that became a problem, y'all. Okay, you gotta do a will or a trust. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you have children out here, if you cannot trust them with $100, why are you going to leave them 10, 15, 20, 30, $100,000? Right. Doesn't make sense, especially if you have not taught them how money works. Right. Okay, that does not make any sense. That's where our parents, that's where that wealth is being squandered. That's where the generational wealth is going. It's going down the tubes. Okay, and then, wait a minute. I'm sorry to say this, okay? And I love my white people, so don't get it wrong, my white people, my white friends. But that's when you see the Caucasian investors coming into the black neighborhood, approaching Willie and Bobo. That's my brother's name, but I'm just messing with you, but approaching your loved ones, and they're gonna give them pennies on the dollar. They're just gonna, especially if they're they don't know, and God forbid if they're on any kind of drugs or whatever the case may be, they're just gonna look. It's all over with. Okay, that house, that grandma and mama that was been through 4 and 5 generations, and then when it got to Pookie, it went down the tubes. Right. Okay, So don't let that be your situations out there, y'all. That's plan your estate and put it in writing, get it notarized. And for God's sakes, if you have minor children, you want to set up guardians and make sure that the people that you are going to entrust your children with, make sure you like them and make sure that they're loving people. Because some people they got a lot of secrets, so make sure that they're gonna take care of your babies like you would. And also your pets. You got to make sure that a lot of us have pets too. So you got to make sure that our pets are taken care of. So that's very important too. What you think about that, Anthony?
Oh yeah, she's got a cute dog named King, and I'm pretty sure King is going to be set up pretty nice when she passes on. Or hopefully she don't pass on anytime soon. But if she were to pass on, King would be taken care of.
Okay, Anthony, David wants you to talk in the mic a little bit more.
Oh, okay, yeah. She has a dog named King, and believe me, that dog will be well cared for.
Gotcha. So, y'all, definitely we want to make sure that we are taking care of our businesses, our business. And your businesses, okay? If you have a business, who's going to succeed you in that business? That's something else that you're going to want to make sure that you have taken care of as well. So, what else, Anthony? What else is going on here? Okay, y'all. I'm going to I want to challenge you. For the month of February, we are going to be doing a Get a Hold of Your Darn Finance 30-day challenge. And in this challenge, we're going to be going through the book, the workbook, and the course. And it's afterwards, we're going to do it does include the credit boosting kit. So like I said, you're going to get the book, the workbook, and we're going to do the course and the credit boosting kit. And it's going to be for $127, okay? This is a bargain, especially with the class. The class by itself costs $150. So I want to sign up as many people. I would love to see 500 people in this class. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Do it for your kids. We have to teach them about money, y'all, and we cannot just leave it to, just happenstance. We just can't do that. We have to teach them. And if you are not sometimes you don't have time or whatever, but you got to make time, because if you don't know how money works, how are your kids going to know? Okay, so send them to me. I'll get them together. When I finish with them, they're gonna know a whole lot about money, how she works, balancing checkbooks, budgets, and all of that. Because we have to make sure that the next generation is taken care of. That's very important, y'all. Okay, as I said, the next challenge is going to start February the 1st. The cost of the course, like I said, you're going to get the book, the workbook, the course, and the credit boosting kit, and that's going to be for $127. So Anthony is putting a link in the chat. You can go to www.getaholdofyourdarnfinances.com and sign up for the course, y'all. Come on, we have to get this thing called money together. We need more Black millionaires out here. If we're going to make some positive change, then we need to do it in our own communities. We can't just wait for everybody else to do to take care of us. So as I stated, support this ministry, please. It is a financial ministry. I want book clubs, especially a lot of book clubs out there. I see a lot of African American book clubs out there. I see just book clubs, period. You know what? Y'all up here reading these romance novels and all of that. I want to challenge some of these book clubs out here too. for you guys to get together, purchase the book, and then do a Zoom call with all of y'all reading the book and doing all that and sharing your feedback and your comments on my channel. I would love to interview these book clubs, and so that we can bring more awareness to financial literacy, of course. Okay. I would love for you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, y'all. Because I want you to be aware when we're going online, and I want you to comment on it and come on in, because we want you to be successful in whatever endeavors that you're wanting to that God has for you. Okay, y'all, we're going to be wrapping this up. Don't forget, the theme of this year is waging war. We are waging war on our finances, on hurt, on pain. And if you don't face your problems, y'all, it will not go anywhere. Okay, I do want to thank my co-host, Mr. Anthony Barnes. He's always been a great guy, and like I say, he's my ride and die. And I will see you on the next episode of Get a Hold of Your Darn Finances. Take care.
Get a hold of your finances. Stack it up and watch your money grow. Get a hold of your finances.
Black money matters.